Hi everyone, my name is Roman Villarreal and today I'm going to show you a quick way of editing in Premiere Pro using keyboard shortcuts. So in Premiere Pro I'm going to go ahead and import a piece of footage I have. I have this clip called Whole Take, me making some espresso in my kitchen. I'm going to double click on that clip and I can see it's espresso making time. Okay. Now a lot of friends I have that are very talented editors will use these keys down here to make mark in and mark outs, and they'll drag this onto a timeline, and then once they have this big chunk down here, to make it smaller they'll use the razor blade tool and they'll cut up into little pieces. They'll get rid of the parts that they don't want, and then they'll kind of smash everything together. If they don't know if they're going to use this piece, they'll leave it over here, and then before you know it they have a whole bunch of little clips over here on the right side, and this works for them. But today I'm going to show you a different method. In fact, I know some folks that'll just take the entire clip and bring it out here, and then they'll use the razor tool to cut it up, and the same process continues. But rather than do that, I'm going to go ahead and show you an alternative way of doing this. So I'm just going to go ahead and here and clear my in and out points up here. And so I can use my J, K, L keys on my keyboard. Let me go ahead and show you some keyboard shortcuts here. I have letter J, K, and L on my keyboard. That'll let me play backwards, stop, and play forwards. I also have I and O, which will let me mark in and mark out. And then I'll be using this comma here in just a second to insert that clip down into my timeline. So to show you how that's done, basically I use my left hand over the J, K, L keys, and my middle finger on letter K. I can play forward, and if I want to play fast forward, I can just keep hitting my letter L key. I can stop it with letter K, play backwards with letter J. Okay, when I'm satisfied, I can mark the clip in by just moving my middle finger up and hitting the letter I. Now I have to tell you that this does take some dexterity and practice. In your first few times that you do this, it might feel frustrating and you end up going back to your old methods. But this is a very fast way for larger projects, and on small projects you can just fly through them because the keyboard shortcuts make things so much faster. Now I can also play forward here. Now I'm looking for a certain point in time here that I keep kind of missing, and so what I can do is I can hold my letter K key down, I can tap the letter L key, and that lets me go frame by frame. I can go back by holding my letter K key down and tapping my letter J. I can also go in slow motion, okay? Hitting J and K will let me go slow motion backwards. L and K held down together will let me play slow motion forwards. Okay, and it's pretty cool because you can hear the audio going slow motion too. Once I found that right point in time, that sweet spot, I can hit letter O on my keyboard, and now I'm ready to insert this into my brand new sequence. I'm going to ignore this sequence I made earlier. I'm going to take this sequence, and this is how I do all of my new sequences when I'm first starting out with my first clip. I don't just drag it down here. Instead, I'll drag it down directly on to this new item icon. Plop it right on top of there. That creates a new sequence with the same name as your clip, which I don't like. So I'm going to go ahead and take this clip. I'm going to call this underscore Americano, okay, because that's the name of this project. And then I can just pull it out, or I can do whatever I want with this clip. Now, using the filtering tool though up here, if I filter this column, Americano will now live at the top, and any sequence that I have with this underscore will filter to the top, and so that's why I put the little underscore in the front. So now at this point, maybe I need to make some more edits, and come in here very quickly. That's the sweet spot. Come in here, maybe hit letter O to create my out point. But if I insert it down here right now using my keyboard shortcuts, it's going to be slapped right in the beginning. So I can move my mouse and just drag this right here, but it's not very precise. I'd rather use my up and down arrow keys to get precisely to the end of the clip. Because sometimes you can think that you're right at the end of the clip, but when you zoom in, you realize that you're actually not exactly at the end of that clip. So I prefer using the up and down arrow keys to get there. And then with this clip up here that's already been marked, I can just hit comma. It slams it down there, ready for my next clip. So I'm going to go ahead and start making my next edit. Maybe it's over here. Hit letter I. And hit letter L to continue here. And I hit letter O. to mark my out point, okay? And then I hit comma. And the process continues, okay? I, O, and then comma. And these clips just continually get at the end of each other, okay? If you don't like this feeling of not being able to see everything, you can also hit your backslash key on your keyboard right underneath the delete key or the backspace key on PC, and you can see the entire timeline. And from there you can come through here and continue making your in and out points or whatever, and making your story down here. This works great on process videos. It also works great when you know what exactly you need to cut out of a clip, or on interviews. If you don't have your plan together of what you're going to do to create this rough cut, then it can be a little tricky using these keyboard shortcuts, because basically you're just jumping all over the footage without a plan. So I do recommend making a plan first, and then you can fly through your actions of making these edits using keyboard shortcuts in Premiere Pro. That's all for now on this quick tutorial. I hope you find it useful. Thank you.